Hi everyone. I don't know why that happened, but wow. Okay. This is Grace. You know, we would live up to age 100 and we would be working until age 80. So let's redesign your life. Today, I'd like to talk about your choice, your options, and your responsibilities. Yesterday, I talked about Japan Airlines, how kind they were when I have to fly Trans-Pacific with my mother's ashes. And then I remember one more thing that I really owe Japan Airlines so much. They made me a loyal customer. It was many, many years ago when they had a World Cup in Paris. And about the same time, I have to fly to Amsterdam for an international conference. And you know me, whenever I go to Europe, I always like to fly Air France because I love to transit in Paris. And on the way home, I'd like to spend a couple of days in Paris as my personal vacation. So that particular day, I was, maybe one day before my departure, my travel agent called me saying Air France just went on strike. You know, France is a socialistic country, whereas Japan and the US is a capitalistic country. The difference between socialistic country and a capitalistic country, I might be wrong, but my understanding is socialistic country, they prioritize workers, whereas workers' right. Whereas in capitalistic countries, I think they prioritize customers. I might be wrong. So Air France, being a socialistic country and a socialistic company, they often go on a strike. In the past, I had a two times that I have a reservation. One time I was even at the airport and they said, okay, from here, the flight has been canceled. You know, they don't care about customers' convenience, but labor workers come first in that country. So that's the only drawback I don't like about Air France. But other than that, I like France. I like their culture. I love their foods. I love, shopping. And but anyhow, so at that particular time, Air France decided to go on a strike out of the blue because they wanted to have a great impact. They were just hosting, World Cup soccer game, and that would be a great impact if they cancel the flight. So here I am. That was, I think, one day before my departure. My travel agent called me. Okay, your flight has been canceled. So you have a choice. Either you fly by British Airways or you fly Japan Airlines, because at that time Air France was a member of a world, whatever the alliance. So I had a choice of British Airways or Japan Airlines. And I was so exhausted already. I was in between business trips. So I figured I better be with the Japan Airlines because they would take care of me better. So I said, okay, I'd rather go long trip, but I'd rather fly Trans-Pacific, not the Transatlantic, and then transit in Tokyo, even stay overnight, and fly to Amsterdam. That was my choice. So I had options, but I chose to fly Japan Airlines. It was a right decision because during inside the Trans-Pacific flight, it was about 11 hours. I got very, very sick. I got so sick that I have to confine myself in the lavatories, the restroom. I couldn't come out. I got so sick there. And then the good thing about Japan Airlines was before the landing, I asked the pilot, please give me a wheelchair. I just couldn't walk. I was so sick. So after I landed at the Narita airport, they had a wheelchair ready for me. And I was so sick that just, at the baggage claim, when I was looking for my baggage, I got so dizzy. I was that sick. So I just gave them my luggage ticket, and then the person was so kind. They pick up my baggage, and I was so sick. So I asked them, could you I need to see a doctor. And the beauty of, the Japanese airport is they have a airport clinic. So they took me there. The doctor saw me, I was dehydrated. So the doctor gave me IV right away. And then this, the ground staff of Japan Airlines, he was so helpful. He talked to the doctor and find out how many minutes it would take me to finish the IV. So he would come back when I finish. So he came back and he pushed me to the hotel shuttle bus stop because I have to stay overnight. So he took me there, make sure I'm on the bus, and then they communicate the hotel people. That's a Japan Airlines hotel by the Narita airport. So when the hotel shuttle bus arrived at the hotel, somebody's also waiting for me with a wheelchair. And they helped me to check in because I was so sick I couldn't do anything. But they helped me with the check-in, and they took me to my hotel room. And now I'm in the hotel room. I open the room service menu, and they don't have any meals for sick people. So I call and I ask if they can prepare rice porridge for me. And they were so kind to prepare rice porridge, which is not in their menu, but they understand I was so sick. So they delivered me the porridge, and I was able to sleep. So at that time, I was in early 30s, and I wasn't taking any supplements. I was like one of you. I thought I can take enough nutrients from the food, so I didn't believe in supplements. And that's how I got very sick. And indeed, when I was in teens, 20s, and the early 30s, I was always sick. I was very fragile health-wise, and every single year I had a flu. And I became very bad because I was overexhausted from my career. And actually, my career was so stressful, so demanding. My coworker died before age 50. So I was thinking, oh my God, I would die before age 50, or maybe I might die in 10 years because I was that stressful. I've been constantly traveling. I was a world traveler on business, and I was like that sick. And then the next day, I was on a Japan Airlines non-stop direct flight from Tokyo to Amsterdam. And in that flight, there is a gentleman with a lot of hair, styling gel. It was so strong. And when you are sick, you are very sensitive to any fragrance. And this particular gentleman, he had almost like a lacquered hair. And he put a lot of hair cream or styling gel. So here I am, I was feeling sick again. So I talked to flight attendant. And back then, they had a, jumbo, the Boeing 747-400. That's the kind of a, double deck. They had the upper deck and the main cabin. So the stewardess, the flight attendant was so kind. I told her, could I change my seat because this gentleman's lacquer, the fragrance was too strong. I am feeling sick again. So she was so kind. She put me to upper deck where it's a smaller area and nobody was wearing strong perfume. So that's how I was able to go to Amsterdam safely. And then the next day I was in an international conference and I was able to work. But this is the topic. You have so many options. You have so many choices. And it's you. You choose whatever you decide to choose, but you're going to be responsible for the outcome. So in my case, I had a, Air France went on strike. That was out of my control, but I had a control. Either I fly British Airways or I fly Japan Airlines. And I was able to afford that time, so I took Japan Airlines, and it was good because I became very, very sick in a flight, and they had a very good, customer service and then hospitality, and they really care about me because I was really sick. And I was fortunate. The Narita airport, they had an airport clinic that the doctor was able to give me IV, whereas I'm not sure in Heathrow airport or even any airport in the United States, they may or they may not have clinic. And I don't think they can even give me IV because, so many lawsuits and all those, things. So I am so glad I became sick in a Japan airline, and they really took care of me. And even Narita airport, they have an airport clinic. The doctor can see me, the medical doctor, and they gave me IV. So this is the story today, that you have so many options, and you have to know what options you have and be prepared for the worst case scenario. Of course, at that time, I didn't think I would be sick, but I was between business trips. I was between international business trips, so I was overexhausted, and it was a right choice for me. When I'm overexhausted, to me, Japan Airline is the airline of the choice. And because I'm Japanese, so it's good for me to stay in a Japanese hotel that they know what the rice porridge is rather than oatmeal. I am a Japanese, so if I'm sick, if I eat oatmeal, it would make me even sicker. I need to have rice porridge. Those are little things, but when you are sick, either you take oatmeal or rice porridge would be like no matter of life or death type of issue. So you really have to know your options. That's my theme today, and you have to be responsible. Okay, that's all for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.